6 bottles, 2 distilleries, a grain tradition most Scotch drinkers have never encountered, and a founder's legacy 90 years deep. Nikka's lineup isn't a ladder from cheap to expensive. Most bottles sit in the same price band. This guide ranks 6 expressions not by cost, but by how close each gets to defining what Nikka actually is. The answer waits at the end. We start with the easiest way in. First on our list, Nikka Days stands as the newest bottle in a long-established house, made as the approachable entry point. Launched in 2018 and bottled at 40% alcohol by volume, this blend is engineered for the Japanese highball ritual and everyday drinking. Rather than prioritizing vintage or price, beginning here provides a practical reference point for drinkers accustomed to Scotch or bourbon who are looking to understand the lineup. At roughly $50, it acts as a modern gateway into a legacy that began with the founder, Masataka Taketsuru. Born in Takehara in 1894 into a sake-brewing family, Taketsuru traveled to Scotland in 1918 to study chemistry at the University of Glasgow. After completing apprenticeships at distilleries such as Longmorn and Hazelburn, he returned to Japan in 1920 alongside his Scottish wife, Rita Cowan, eventually founding Nikka in 1934. While Days is a contemporary creation, its composition of lightly peated malt and smooth grain spirits relies on the structural foundations. Taketsuru established decades ago, serving as the easiest doorway into the brand's fundamental character. In second place, Nikka Coffey Grain presents a rare grain whiskey lineage carried by a difficult continuous still. This expression reveals that Nikka's identity is not only about traditional malt, but about a highly specialized continuous still grain tradition. The story began in 1962, when founder Masataka Taketsuru traveled to Scotland with his adopted son, Takeshi, to acquire a traditional Blair-built coffee column still. Installed at the Nishinomiya plant, this complex machine began operating in November 1964, leading to the first coffee grain release in September 1965. In 1999, these historic stills were relocated to the Miyagikyo distillery to consolidate Nikka's grain production under one roof. Unlike the robust malt expressions, this spirit offers a sweet, tropical profile driven by a mash bill of 95% corn. Rich notes of banana, papaya, and soft vanilla dominate the palate, presenting a distinctive sweetness unlike any malt. Priced around $65, it remains a widely sought-after reference bottle, though recent supply constraints have limited its global availability, making it an important purchase for collectors who wish to understand the full breadth of the brand's production. Third on our list, Nikka Yoichi represents a bold single malt shaped by coal fire and coastal conditions. Established in 1934 on the northern island of Hokkaido, the distillery was built in a cold, salt mist environment deliberately chosen to replicate the climate of Scotland. At the heart of Yoichi's production are traditional copper pot stills heated by direct coal fires, which workers tend and adjust entirely by hand. This painstakingly manual method produces localized hotspots in the copper, caramelizing natural sugars within the wash. This process is recognized as the last of its kind still in operation anywhere in the world, giving the spirit an intense, smoky flavor profile. The global reputation of this distillery reached new heights in 2001, when the Yoichi 10-year won Whiskey Magazine's Blind Tasting Award, establishing Japanese whiskey on the international stage. For collectors, the standard expression retails between $90 and $100, while the celebrated 10-year bottling commands close to $170. This is a heavy spirit where handcrafted temperature control defines the house style, offering an uncompromising experience for those seeking the traditional roots of Japanese malt production. Fourth on our list, Nikka Miyagikyo represents the refined single malt shaped by valley water and indirect heat. Established in May 1969 near Sendai, this distillery sits deep within a misty, forested valley at the confluence of the Hiroshi and Nikawa rivers. Masataka Taketsuru chose this exact location after scooping up the river water, mixing it with a splash of black Nikka, and immediately deciding to build. To protect this pristine water profile, the distillery employs indirect steam-heated copper pot stills rather than the direct coal-fired furnaces of Yoichi. This precise, gentler thermal control prevents the intense caramelization of sugars, yielding a softer, lighter, and highly floral spirit marked by notes of fresh orchard fruit, red apples, and gentle sherry cask maturation. At roughly $100 to $110, Miyagikyo acts as the elegant malt counterpart in the core lineup. It is not a lesser sibling to the smoky Northern Distillery, but the crucial bottle that brings necessary finesse, contrast, and structural symmetry to Nikka's overarching identity. Fifth on our list, Nikka Taketsuru Pure Malt is a malt-only tribute that carries the Taketsuru name forward. Following the death of founder Masataka Taketsuru in 1979, leadership of the company passed to his adopted son, Takeshi. To honor his pioneering legacy, Takeshi oversaw the creation of this expression, which debuted in the year 2000. Unlike standard blends that utilize grain spirit, this is a pure vatted malt, combining the smoky power of Yoichi with the elegant fruitiness of Miyagikyo. This composition relies entirely on malted barley, bringing together distinct regional styles into a single profile. The coveted 17, 21, and 25-year aged editions were discontinued by March 2020 due to severe liquid shortages, leaving a reformulated, non-age statement bottle in their place. Independent whiskey critics note that this shift was necessary to preserve remaining old stocks amid surging global demand. Retailing today at approximately $85, this bottle offers a practical entry point into the blended legacy of Japan's first whiskey family, balancing conceptual heritage with modern market realities. And finally, in sixth place, Nikka From The Barrel concentrates the brand's diverse identities into the single bottle most closely tied to its international reputation. Conceived in 1985 by Takeshi Taketsuru, this expression was designed to capture the raw intensity that blenders experience when tasting directly from the cask. To correct a common misconception, From The Barrel is not a true cask-strength whiskey. It is actually bottled at a precise 51.4% alcohol by volume, a strength chosen to deliver the deep sensory impact of the wood without the volatile burn of an undiluted spirit. The blend is a complex construction, combining more than 100 distinct batches of malt and grain whiskeys from both Yoichi and Miyagikyo, bringing together the smoky northern malts and soft Sendai spirits with sweet Coffey Grain. After blending, these components are married together in seasoned casks for several months to allow the flavors to fully harmonize. This liquid is housed in an iconic, minimalist square bottle designed to resemble a small, solid block of whiskey. In 2018, Whiskey Advocate named From The Barrel the #1 whiskey in its top 20, a rare accolade for a Japanese blend that solidified its global standing. Highly valued by mixologists for its ability to retain its character against ice, it remains Nikka's top-selling export and a permanent fixture behind the counters of the world's 50 best bars. Celebrating its 40th anniversary in 2025 and priced between $70 and $83, it serves as the ultimate synthesis of Nikka's historical distilleries, its grain whiskey heritage, and a multi-generational blending obsession. This is Uncorking Japan. Subscribe to the channel to explore more of Japan's finest liquid history. Across these 6 expressions, one truth emerges. Nikka is a masterclass in harmony. Each bottle represents a distinct, deliberate philosophy of liquid art, proving that true value lies in character rather than cost. This is Uncorking Japan. Please like and subscribe for more.